Hello, and welcome to Your Vote Counts, a public, informational, nonpartisan service program designed to get acquainted with candidates that are vying for the 2022 primary races of Mayor, Salem City Council, Marion County Commissioners, and Polk County Commissioners. These interviews come to you through the producers of Capital Community Media. Collaboration on questions and moderators from Association of University Women, Salem City Club, League of Women Voters of Marion Polk Counties, and neighborhood associations. All candidates for these races were invited, and all but two chose to participate. Candidates did not receive the 7 questions prepared by the League of Women Voters ahead of time. The candidates were invited to prepare a 2-minute opening address that talks about their background and their qualifications for the office, and also a 2-minute closing addressing their goals for the office if elected. I'm Bernadine Anderson from the Marion Polk League of Women Voters, and I would like to introduce Jeremy Gordon, who's running for Polk County Commissioner, position 3. Candidate Gordon, welcome, and we look forward to your opening remarks.
It's wonderful to be here, and thank you to the League of Women Voters and Capital Community Media and the other partners for this opportunity. I'd like to just begin by acknowledging how difficult these past few years have been on everyone, particularly families with kids, those who are unable to maintain employment, those who lost loved ones or find themselves caring for loved ones, our small businesses, those struggling with mental health and addiction, and people working in the human services fields, teachers, public safety and emergency response personnel, and the list really goes on. In times of difficulty, it is important that we work together as one community and support one another. In terms of my professional background, I've been serving as a Polk County Commissioner since my appointment in August. Prior to this appointment, I worked for many years in the fields of higher education and workforce development and hold a degree in philosophy from the University of Minnesota. I'm also board director serving 4 area nonprofits in the areas of affordable housing development and management, homelessness, and economic and community development. I also serve on the budget committee for my local school district, and I'm a member of the Association of Oregon Counties Health and Human Services Steering Committee and Veterans Steering Committee. I also enjoy volunteering with my wife and son in our spare time. I started my public service career in my home community of Falls City as a volunteer mayor because I was inspired by others in that community who made real differences in people's lives. And frankly, I was tired of the toxic way people were talking to one another, the entrenched partisanship, finger pointing, and dehumanization of others with whom they disagree. So instead of engaging in that way, I started working on issues in Falls City in collaboration with many organizations, the City Council, Polk County, state and federal partners, and philanthropic organizations. We were able to accomplish quite a bit. Since my appointment to the Board of Commissioners, I've taken that collaborative leadership approach to my work representing people in Polk County. And I'm very, very fortunate to work with 2 other dedicated and experienced commissioners and top-rate staff, department heads, and employees. We've accomplished quite a bit together in areas of pandemic recovery, rural broadband expansion of mental health and addiction services, homelessness and suicide prevention, adding mobile crisis response team capacity and other public safety investments, and of course, infrastructure investments. So thank you again for this opportunity. I hope to earn your trust and your vote.
Thank you, Candidate Gordon. We appreciate it. And now, how about some questions? Our first one today is, how do Polk County Commissioners work with communication and outreach to our Hispanic Latinx community? And is there anything you would change if elected?
Sure. I'll start with the first part of the question. So I think so that population is increasing quite a bit. Demographics are changing in Polk County. We need to adjust with that. One of the key areas in which we engaged that community was during the pandemic. Our public health department partnered with some non-government organizations in the Monmouth Independence area to administer vaccinations, testing, and other pandemic-related information. These populations, BIPOC populations in particular, aren't as connected to these services as we'd like them to be, and we were able to close those racial gaps significantly. There's more to do. what we can do a bit more with bilingual communication, making sure everything on our website, all communications are bilingual. We do have quite a bit of bilingual capacity in our resource center from family and community outreach. So folks seeking basic services are able to engage, and also in our health services. But there's always more to do there. We need to be conscious of gaps in service, gaps in communication, and really listen to those communities about what they need from us. There's always more work to do.
Isn't there always? Thank you. What is the working relationship between Polk County and the Grand Ronde Nation? What do you see as the most important shared issues?
Wow, there are quite a few, actually. And that was something that I wanted to kind of gauge when I first became commissioner. And the relationship seemed very good. For example, many of us leaders, our elected officials in Polk County, meet monthly for a breakfast meeting and just talk about what's on our plates, opportunities for collaboration, et cetera. There's always a tribal council person who attends that. We worked very closely with them on the Grand Ronde Sewer District. So basic infrastructure, we're investing some ARPA funds and some upgrades there. I'm hoping to increase some collaboration with Grand Ronde in areas of tourism. Polk County is partnering with some cities on some destination development personnel and resources, and we'd love to tie in Spirit Mountain with those efforts. Of course, just basic public safety services, fire, life, and safety. There's a lot of collaboration there, and the list really does go on. I'm probably missing some things, but that's a relationship we have to constantly nurture. We're organized a bit differently. Our governance structures are different, but there's lots of opportunity there for collaboration.
Thank you. Now, could you discuss what progress is being made towards establishing a homeless youth center or shelter in Dallas?
Sure. I certainly would support that. So as a little background, since I've been on board, I've taken on some of the liaison assignments on the commission on homelessness issue. Previously served by Lyle Mordhurst, another commissioner. But I was able to convene our cities and the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde to submit to the state of Oregon a proposal for funds to start a coordinated office. So we were awarded $1 million for a joint tribal city county homelessness pilot project. And we're also partnering with the Homeless Alliance and Mid-Willamette Valley Community Action Agency. Basically, our stated goals are to create a 5-year strategic plan engaging a multitude of community members. I can't imagine some kind of youth homelessness services won't be included in that, but I don't want to dictate that. I want to see what the community needs and make sure we're doing that. And then also those funds will be used to stand up an office. So hire some personnel, contract out some help to get us started. And then we want to find a sustainability plan to keep that office going. So there's a one-stop shop in Polk County for homelessness services. And there's a lot of positive things happening in the region around that area. I know people want us to really move a little faster on this, but we have a lot of pieces in place to do good work. I would love to see some transitional sheltering and housing options for families with children. It's a necessity. I've heard from our McKinney-Vento liaisons at our school districts, and the problem is just only getting worse. We need to be proactive, prevent homelessness, and support folks who are experiencing it, no doubt.
Now, you've mentioned public health involvement in various populations. So what do you think is the role of the county in making public health decisions?
Well, it's a really good question because there are some misconceptions there. Obviously, during the pandemic and the state of emergency, the governor's office and OHA made quite a few decisions for how to mitigate the impacts of the pandemic. Although the county is the public health authority, so we do have some quite a bit of responsibility there. Public health being one of the big ones. So it's really our responsibility to align ourselves with the goals of the state to make sure we are staffed and funded to, of course, address the pandemic and partner with NGOs and cities to protect people. And I think most importantly, to prepare for the next pandemic, because this will happen again, unfortunately. And I think there are a lot of lessons learned, and we need to be a little bit better prepared next time. But that relationship with the state is a little awkward because we don't have a lot of authority on certain matters. For example, we couldn't counter or not enact certain rules and laws that came from the state. We simply can't defy that, nor would I personally want to. I think collaboration with the state is key in that area, but we have a lot of staff dedicated to it, so it's a big part of our budget.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now to communication, since we've been looking at that in our questions. What's being done to bring broadband to the more rural areas in Polk County? And do you think there's other technologically communication related issues?
Yeah, this is another area where there's a lot of opportunity for improvement. And this has been a long-standing goal of the commissioners, particularly Commissioner Pope, who really spearheaded some of this. Fortunately, because of the ARPA money that we were able to distribute, we have partnered with two ISP providers in the area, one Minet / Willamette Valley Fiber, and also Lyrica. And so we're going to expand, they're working now to expand gig up and down capacity fiber in certain areas south of Dallas. And we're looking at a feasibility study to do that in Falls City. And then Lyrica is focusing on the northwest area, northwest of Dallas, for some fixed wireless new technology that should serve people much better. The gaps there, I think, were made incredibly apparent during the pandemic. We need it for schoolwork, for work itself, to stay in touch with loved ones, telehealth. The more we can expand there, the better. And those are ARPA funds. We hope to leverage those funds with state and federal programs as they align with. That's a constant kind of effort that's underway. So we would love to see no rural space uncovered by high-speed internet. That's the goal.
Thank you. Polk County faces numerous challenges. Of those challenges, which do you believe are not being addressed or that you think need a different approach?
That's a really good question. I think recent efforts for homelessness prevention, I think, is going to present an opportunity for us to deliver services more efficiently. We have quite a few folks in the area providing services related to affordable housing and homelessness. And the county is providing lots of wraparound services for a lot of those folks experiencing these things. But to get this coordinated office up and running, I think we'll be able to share some administrative capacity with other organizations and really make that service more efficient. Great work is already being done for some of these folks experiencing homelessness or at risk, but I think this will increase some efficiencies. What else? I think there's a lot of opportunity for emergency management, increase in capacity. It's on people's mind. I mean, we're being hit by, emergency after emergency. We have a great department head dedicated to this and have secured lots of grant funding for increased capacity. We were able to purchase digital communications equipment to be shared for everyone from public works departments to every emergency responding agency and fire safety department in the area, and as well as police. So but there's more work to be done there, I think. And I think we can do a little bit better job of engaging with our cities on a more regular basis. I know there was a bill that was considered to require public officials to engage in training and overview of emergency management protocols. I would like to just do that as a best practice. So those are two that come to mind, but I'm sure there are others.
Thank you. What concerns face law enforcement in Polk County, and are there some major factors affecting those issues?
Yeah, I think some concerns I've heard was just, that's been a hot topic issue right now. And, I lived for a while in Minneapolis, the site of George Floyd's murder. and have lived in Polk County. And the cultures here, the trust between community and police departments are night and day. So we don't see some of those problems that we see in, say, Minneapolis here in Polk County, but there's still some concerns from law enforcement that the public doesn't trust them as enough. There are misconceptions about the work they actually do, perhaps. And obviously, there's always funding challenges. We have a levy renewal coming up that's going to be critical to maintain services for our deputies, our DA's office, and our community corrections. So I'm in full support of that. But I think that political unrest is starting to cool a bit, and I think our politics are absorbing a lot of those issues. And we're going to get back to kind of a status quo that's good for the community and good for law enforcement. But, we support our law enforcement here. They do great community work. I have a bird's eye view into their work. I see a spreadsheet of all their interactions with the public every day. And folks would be really surprised to see how many interactions just end in just resolving an issue. It could be a mental health crisis, and they send out the MCRT team. It could be somebody dealing with all sorts of issues that our police are asked to resolve. The range of skills that they need to do the work they do is really eye-opening to me as a new commissioner. So I hope that answered your question. But I think consistent dialogue between community members and law enforcement is key as we sort of improve services and build, improve trust with the community.
In the short time we have remaining, could you say anything about the unique relationship between Marion and Polk counties?
Sure. We're involved in all sorts of collaborations. The Homeless Alliance is a great example. The governance structure includes a commissioner from each county. So there's a lot of coordination there. There's a lot of coordination with behavioral health services in West Salem and Salem proper. What else? Anytime we find an opportunity to leverage each other's goals and partnerships, we take advantage of that. There are at times it's tough because they're significantly larger than Polk County. So we're always trying to find the benefits of Polk County in any partnership, but usually that happens in a favorable way. So
thank you very much. Candidate Gordon, you're invited now to share your 2-minute closing comments about your goals for this office if elected.
Well, thank you so much for that opportunity. I'm not sure I'll take up the whole 2 minutes, but you never know. My goals, I kind of have them broken into 3 categories. One is, folks don't realize that commissioners are essentially the CEOs of the county. So as an organizational leader, I'm always looking for ways for the county to be efficient, to make sure department heads have the resources they need to provide the services that people rely on. So just keeping an eye on personnel, recruitment and retention, and making sure things are running well at the county organizational level. In terms of sort of priority areas that I'd like to work on, certainly economic development. As a part of pandemic recovery, I'm working on tourism as a way to sort of jumpstart our businesses, open up opportunities for outdoor recreation, and just to highlight the wonderful things about living in Polk County. The quality of life here is really outstanding and understated. I don't think people realize that, which is good in some ways, but I think we need to do a better job of sort of giving people opportunity to really enjoy Polk County. What else am I working on? I'm working on certainly homelessness prevention is going to be a big priority of mine. I'll be the commissioner liaison on the new coordinated office. Lots of other things. I'm also going to be working representing Polk County at the Veterans Affairs subcommittee at the Association of Oregon Counties. We have a really, really good VSO here in Polk County. It's fairly new, but I really want to make sure it's resourced adequately so that we can serve everyone we need to serve. And then I also hope to look at kind of the housing situation in a regional manner and look at the possibility of perhaps conducting a regional housing analysis so that we can get ahead of this housing crisis.
Thank you. So thank you to our candidate, Jeremy Gordon, for Polk County Commissioner position number 3 for this interview and for sharing your thoughts.
Well, thank you again for this opportunity. Thanks to the League of Women Voters and Capital Community Media. This has been a real pleasure. Thank you.
So I also thank Capital Community Media for their extensive technology and producer skills used to create this program. Thank you to the League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk Counties for the design and preparation of the program, to American Association of University Women, Salem City Club for help with question development and providing the moderators. And thanks to you, the public, for watching in order to become an informed voter. For more local, state, and national voter information on candidates and ballot issues, please visit vote411.org. You have until April 26th to register to vote or make changes. Ballots go out about April 27th, and according to a new law, will be accepted if postmarked before or on May 17th. Elections matter. Remember to vote because your vote counts.